When the lights come on, when the crowd goes wild.
이렇게 잡아냅니까? 오피셜 리프
오윤수가 지금 당장에 실수를 한다. 이병렬 이렇게 또 벽에 부딪히나요? 이병렬 다시 한번
사라졌어요.
8강의 벽을 정말 이병렬의 욕심과 목표와 원하는 그림들이 눈에 보였습니다. 그 정도로 간절해 보였는데 좀 아쉬웠거든요. GSL 슈퍼 토너먼트에서 한을 풀면서 기세, 블리츠까지 끌고 가고 싶을 겁니다. 속도감이 집중이 안 된 거죠. 이병렬의 추가 병력이 맹독죠.
말입니까? 그동안에 한계를 뚫습니까?
블리츠컨이라는 티켓까지 더 잡았다고 보겠으면 이런 기회가 없었죠.
2017년 유일한 저우승자로 이름을 올려놓으면서 이번 시즌 마무리하는 이병렬.
다시 의욕이 생기는 것 같아서 기분이 너무 좋습니다.
We've narrowed it down to 2. We start out with players from all around the world. We've narrowed it down to 2. Series GG killing off one of the last areas of Sue. GG. Ro is your 2017 WCS World Champion.
마지막 주인공은 제가 된 것 같아서 너무 뿌듯합니다. 내년에는 꼭 한국 팬들이 있는 앞에서 GSL 우승하고 도쿄로 이끌어 가길 바랍니다.
I'll make the best of you.
Live from Free Cup Studio in Seoul, this is the GSL.
Welcome back to the GSL Codas. We are going to the winners match. It will be Deer versus SOS. I think SOS takes this, but I'll be pleasantly surprised if it is Deer who moves on.
Well, you know, it's PvP. Excuse me. And SOS definitely has made a name for himself in the matchup. He's such a sneaky freaky.
Freaky, deaky, geeky.
But, you know, Deer can be incredibly solid at times, so... I mean, this definitely could go either way, but I'm siding with SOS as well, as I think anyone would.
Yeah. Well, I'm just so used to seeing SOS do really well, and if he doesn't win, he's so close. Generally speaking, one of the rules for me as a caster, if SOS is in the game, I'm usually just expecting him to win. Basically against anybody.
Yeah.
He's a safe bet.
Well, he's certainly won a good share of tournaments and gotten deep in quite a few, so he's one of those top guys that you would expect to win just about everything. Someone like, it's like I say, anytime you see an innovation in a match, just assume he's going to win it. You know?
Right, yeah.
It's a safe bet.
It's not unreasonable.
The house always wins with innovation.
But let's keep in mind, SOS, I don't want to be too critical, but he did seem a little bit lackluster compared to what we're used to seeing, not just with playstyle, but with variety. You know, he's really one of the players that can sort of do anything and everything. He's hard to predict. He was a bit repetitious in our first best of 3 we had today.
He was.
We'll see what he does this time around. PvP is sort of the matchup where SOS can really shine because it is such a dynamic matchup where the rules are very elastic.
Well, will Deer be able to kind of hold on and brute force his way through here? Catalyst, Neon Violet Square, and Ascension to higher. Let's see who goes on.
GSL Season 1, Codas, Daybreak.
When the lights come on,
OK in the bottom right in the blue.
Jin Air Green Wings, SOS.
And in the upper left in the red.
Deer.
Okie dokie. You know, PvP has actually changed a decent amount in especially the early game, you know, since the patch. You know, obviously without the Mothership Core, you have to wall in your ramp or Adepts will just kill you. It's like, that was one of the most painful things when the new patch came out.
Yeah.
I was like trying to open Stalkers without that, and like the Adepts come in, they kill like 8 probes before you can kill them with 2 Stalkers.
Yeah.
It's like, oh no, this is terrible. But you have to do that. You know, shield battery destroys 1 Oracle, but you can do 2 Oracle openers, of course.
Sure.
That, you know, that's more risky. You have to sit there and wait and make those 2 Oracles. But obviously, shield batteries have changed quite a bit. The increased Stalker damage, they're still quite powerful. But it's, you know, I personally am not quite used to the new PvP as much.
Yeah, I'm interested in seeing how it's going to develop and evolve. Let's talk real quick about the ladder anxiety. I want to keep revisiting this thing because this is so talked about.
It is
on forums, and people talk to me about it a lot in person. What is that? But really, to what we were saying, if you have a illusion about yourself as being better than you are, that would be why you have anxiety, or you are scared of being confronted with maybe the reality of where you are at.
Yeah.
Because laddering, I mean, I understand that like it can be frustrating to lose, or you know, it's an adrenaline rush to play. Mm-hmm. But if you have so much anxiety that this makes you uncomfortable to play, you're probably just. I guess it's one thing if you're just it's such an adrenaline rush to just play against somebody, you're not used to that, but you will eventually get used to that where you won't feel anything when you're in a one-on-one game online. But yeah, I think a lot of it just comes down to you have an idea of yourself that you're not comfortable with. You're not okay with failure. And this is why StarCraft is such a good and healthy game for you to be playing and learning, is because it teaches you discipline. It makes you confront reality about where you're at, what you understand.
Yeah. There's no one to blame but yourself.
Yeah, which is that's actually good. That's actually a very good thing. If you can learn how to master that, I think you're really mastering yourself, and something that's going to help you in so many more things. By the way, nice job here by SOS, kind of getting these Stalkers in a bad position. One Stalker is going to go down now for Deer and SOS.
Okay, and he picked off a Pylon, right? So that's pretty good. Did he actually kill the Pylon? I'm not sure.
I'm not sure.
Oracles on the way for SOS proxy Oracles, and I'm sure that Deer has some idea of this because there was no Nexus and there should have been. But he's getting a Robo. This just shows us that he's not sure, is this DT? Is this Oracle? What is this? But yeah, to what you were saying, Tasis, I completely do agree with this sentiment overall.
And if you want to deal with that kind of anxiety, just confront it. It's okay. It's okay to lose. It's okay to...
Totally fine.
That's exciting. If you're not as good as you thought you were, now you have a way to improve, you know?
Mm-hmm. Oh, the Oracle comes in, finds an area where the shield battery doesn't quite reach to. Gets a little bit done.
Meanwhile, a little skirmish down here. The Stalker narrowly going to escape.
Ooh, definitely going well for Deer in comparison to SOS here.
That's right.
Not quite enough probes killed. You know, I think because he got scouted with no Nexus, this is probably why he moved in with a single Oracle, thinking that... Because normally the shield battery looks like that, right? Where there's a few patches it doesn't quite cover. But if you bring in the 2, obviously you can one-shot probes and there's no healing to be done. And looks like that's going to be the next part that we see here. Ooh, almost gets that stuff.
I was holding my breath there. Okay, this is all to try to draw some attention over here. I think he's going to gun it into the main, right? There's 2 Oracles floating outside there,
yes,
right?
Yeah, 2 Oracles waiting.
Oh,
well,
actually,
he's trying to draw some more units down here so that he can actually just fly in and
here we go!
Oh my god.
SOS. Great play. Now, he did lose a decent number of... Okay, bit of misplay there. He actually had that right-clicked on the Nexus, but he's getting so many probes here. 10 kills now. Wow, look at this.
Yeah, and he actually mismicroed this a little bit. It looks like his multitasking was taxed a bit. We saw some Stalkers getting stuck and attacking the Nexus. And then we saw a couple times there where his shots on the Oracles weren't synced up. And if they aren't synced, the heal comes out, and then suddenly it takes more than 2 Oracle shots. So That could have done even more damage, but as is, SOS actually has the probe lead right now.
Yeah, albeit very small, though. Despite how dramatic that attack was, things are sort of balancing out a little bit here. Now, Blink is going to be done soon, so it's very possible that SOS is nowhere near finished trying to harass his opponent. We see here from Deer, he's sending these 2 Adepts now into the main. He'll let that Shade finish, and he'll be able to get some workers of his own.
This is fantastic, too. You can one-shot the workers with 2 Adepts. Oh, my God. Serious damage coming out.
Yeah, already 7 workers killed. And this is costs virtually nothing here for Deer. So this is all very nicely done. And Deer's going to come in again, giving SOS a taste of his own medicine.
These two just ravaging each other's probe lines at this point.
This is a all-out slugfest so far for our first PvP of the night.
Bit worried, though. How many Stalkers does SOS have? Because he's about to have Blink,
yeah,
so,
I think SOS might have lost. Well, you know, I guess with Blink, he's probably okay, but had he not had Blink, this might be more problematic.
Kind of hard to run as well if he starts to overwhelm here against Deer. So Deer is trading as best he can. He knows he can't get out of here alive.
Okay, this is not a favorable situation here, and then suddenly Blink has been revealed. Is he going to try to Blink on top?
He's got to be a little bit careful there.
Oh,
he does Blink forward, though.
Okay, Guardian Shield not going to be that helpful here. And this is a big win here for SOS. This game has been seesawing back and forth. This is a total pendulum match.
Yeah.
So I guess SOS, I think there's no reason for him to not try to push up north, right? He could even Blink in the main if he wants to.
Well, yeah, if you have Blink, you got to go and press while your opponent does not. And I'm sure he's Chrono Boosting out an Immortal right now. Well, I guess the Chrono Boost isn't on right this second, but Immortal does pop out. That'll definitely help with the hold. And, of course, still having that Oracle, that's a dangerous thing to have flying in your backyard.
Yeah, the fact that that wasn't taken out is going to be quite annoying. Now, Deer has sent Adepts in here to try and take out even more workers. It's actually been pretty successful. But will he have enough when the pressure comes on here from SOS? It's always a balancing act. You can always try to send units in there and take out workers on the other side of the map, but that's less that you have to defend. Although, when we really take a step back here and look at all this, it seems like actually Deer's fine, and it's now SOS who's trying to figure out where the origins of these Warpins is. It's actually down here in the bottom center. And these Adepts are going to continue to move in here and try to take out workers, just ignoring that Stalker.
Okay, luckily he does kill one, so he won't lose nearly as many probes because that gets both of them without losing another.
Yeah.
But his worker count is extremely low. These Adepts have done so much work for Deer. It looks like SOS is going to take his 3rd Nexus. So if he's taking his 3rd Nexus here, I feel like doesn't he? Yeah, I was going to say, doesn't he just have to go into charge and just sit on gateways? Like, his economy is too bad to really do anything else. He's got Twilight Tech, and he can't afford anything else.
And it seems like Deer might actually be compelled to try to push in.
Yeah.
He's getting a lot more gateways. He's got a good Immortal count, and that's not going to slow down.
Yeah.
And this is all because SOS opted to go for Blink along with that proxy Stargate. So the direction that SOS took this game into may end up hurting him later on, just based off the superior unit composition that Deer's going to have here.
Oh my God, a miss Blink here. 3 of the Stalkers not getting in. That is absolutely brutal. Not going to be able to get too much done here, but he did set up the Stasis Ward. Yeah, Deer knew about it. Went and countered that immediately. Okay, I mean, it's a good try, and he's got to continue to try things, but this composition that's being made by Deer, I feel like if he just makes 2 Archons and gets a Prism, how do you ever hold this as SOS?
I don't think you can.
Like,
I mean, SOS, I think, can try to keep his opponent pinned here by having the Stalkers available to always Blink in.
Yeah.
But I don't think that should be that hard for Deer to deal with.
Dude, Deer is going to have +2, like 3-4 Immortals, charge himself. He has more probes, so he'll just have more units. The only thing going for SOS is 1 Oracle and a group of Blink Stalkers. He does have this 3rd up. That's important. But he needs to buy so much time with these Stalkers. They are working overtime right now.
Yeah, we're still waiting for that push to actually commence here. What? What was that?
I love it. Oh my God.
The Sentry got spooked.
I know. That force field is so funny. Did I miss patch notes? Does the force field deal damage to flying units?
You can trap the Oracle in there. Okay, so the push is coming out now. You can see he's trying to draw these Stalkers there. Now, this is a lot of Zealots.
That's a healthy amount. And you know what? With force fields, he can mess us up. There's only like 1 Archon, and if you're going up a ramp, not too easy to make that Archon go exactly where you want it as quickly as you need it there.
Not necessarily. His army's going to be gearing up over here.
Flank it too.
Okay, well, I don't think he gets
God,
the flank.
SOS is so handsome.
He's going to try. Here comes Deer now, though. He does. Yes, he does get the Warp Prism.
That is
Tense
such a
moment
good
there.
pickoff. Deer needs to get out of here, man. He's going to be in some trouble.
Okay, more Zealots coming in over on this side. 2 Archons in the group, but both of them very low on shields. And it looks like they are both going to go down here. SOS pulling off a miracle right now.
I tell you, I really felt like this was, oh my God, that recall taking 1,000 years.
No, so slow.
But I was really feeling Deer's position here. I think that maybe he pulled the trigger a little bit too quickly after his third was canceled.
Yeah.
His initial attack that he went down with, his Prism was not there yet, which is why it got picked off.
The moment that Prism's gone, you're going to lose the fight in the long run.
The second Archon rallied down from the main base as well, so like, when you have +2 and that many Immortals to kind of negate a lot of the Stalker damage, I feel like you can take a little bit more time there, but
yeah.
I think that Deer definitely felt pressured, and, well, we see what happens.
Time is running out right now here for Deer. I mean, 3 base versus 2 base in a mirror matchup. The longer this goes on, the worse it gets. SOS basically ahead in every mathematical way.
Except for that +2. That's...
Yeah, I'm sorry, that's true.
It's
The
pretty
+2 is something, but
yeah.
I think the macro engine coming out here for SOS may be too problematic. Unless Deer has like a really, really good engage.
Well, a lot of the patches in the main bases are gone now, so
that's true.
The economy of Deer is really, really, really small.
That's right.
It's like, even though you can make a ton of, you have a ton of good upgrades, you're going to be so outnumbered, it doesn't matter as much.
Okay, so he's going to try with his DT drop.
I like it.
And this absolutely could throw SOS off. This is a very, very dramatic way to try to get back in this game. Let's see if it actually connects here.
DT drops can do quite a bit of damage.
Certainly.
If let's say the Robo is the main, it's not as the natural though, you can do things like snipe that down. Oh, look at this. Deer is really on top of things, man.
Little block there. Okay, unfortunately for him, he already had an observer over here, so this isn't really doing that much. Is he going to get that?
Oh, I don't
think he
so.
actually might not. There's not enough Stalkers over there. Yeah. There was a weird blink where some of the Stalkers blinked away into an odd location. Okay, but here's another attempt to come in here. But if you'll notice, overall, it's been just a handful of probes that have been killed off. I think Deer's actually going to run after this. Yeah, so 9 probes killed. Oh, meanwhile...
God, if people that don't like mirror matches, just look at this game and how dynamic this is from both sides. These guys are pulling out every trick in the book right now to try to get some value.
Okay, I think SOS's army is about to descend on this.
It's pretty fearsome.
Nexus.
But you know what? In a small choked area, the overwhelming Zealot count doesn't count for that much. +2 Archons are going to shred.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that flank
it's really
is
about
good,
how the Archons connect here, and the flank is perfect.
Yeah.
And that means the Archons can't do the damage they need to do to these Zealots because they're not properly clumped up in a way that would actually help him. And this is, or at least should be, the beginning of the end. Only these few Archons remaining here for Deer.
Some excellent juggling, no doubt about that. And very low health on a lot of these Archons, but it doesn't matter. Just way too many units by SOS. Jeez.
Wow.
Man, I thought Deer was going to be able to take this game,
well,
but
this
SOS...
is the problem with SOS, is you can never count him out, ever.
No, certainly not.
Even if the games are going weird and you don't expect him to win, here he is. He's going to come in here now. And this should basically be the beginning of the end. I think right now Deer even knows this game's over. He's digesting the loss and trying to figure out what he can do better in game number 2.
Yeah. Trying his best with his micro. It's fancy, but not enough.
GG.
Okay. So, that is SOS for you, man. Get in a big deficit, no problem. Walk around with Stalkers all day, cancel a third base, and then flank the army that comes to kill you.
Yeah.
I love it.
Very nicely done here by SOS. It's not over yet. That's just game number 1. Kind of odd because it seemed like for a while that Deer was going to have a pretty impressive. He had what we thought was a pretty impressive lead for a little bit. And should have been able to come in with a timing attack. But SOS really is the complete package. He can macro. He knows how to be deceptive with strategies. He can play all different styles, and he knows tactically how to handle a situation like that where your push can't quite come in there and do the damage that it needs to do, because that was a very specific window of time that Deer had to do that damage to SOS. SOS managed to delay it, outmaneuver him, and shut it down. And then the 3-base SOS steadily and gradually overcomes a struggling 2-base trying to acquire a 3rd-base Deer.
And you know what? That was a snowflake of a game as well.
Sure.
Let's not forget, right? So a lot of creativity involved in trying to come back in such a situation. SOS just using the tools that he had and forcing it out. But Deer made great moves in this game as well. Like all that adept harassment, the fact that he had a forge going for a really long time, gave him that +2. I really liked Deer's play. In fact, even though SOS won that with brilliant tactics, I feel like strategically Deer played better.
GSL Season 1, Code S, Daybreak.
When the lights come out.
In the south, in the blue, winning game number 1.
Jin Air Green Wings, SOS.
And in the north, in the red.
Deer.
See how I'm mixing it up, Artosis?
Yeah.
Throwing out some cardinal directions.
It's,
What next?
North is pretty arbitrary, wouldn't you say, though? This is some weird space map. It's like, is there truly a north on this random space platform?
That's a good point, actually.
Yeah. North according to what? Like, who?
According to my space compass.
Your space compass.
According to my trusty space
Only
compass.
Time Bones has a space
Yeah,
compass.
that's right.
Oh my god.
But then if we really try to think about this too much, it's weird because the mutas are flying on some of these space platform maps.
Well, that makes perfect sense.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, they have wings.
Yeah. Oh, my bad. Look at this area in the middle of the map. It looks like it's a retro arcade game.
Looks like it's a dance floor.
I know. Let's dance. Ooh, they are kind of dancing.
Yeah, a little bit. Weaving through.
Yep.
Weave.
I feel like that the probe should be able to find a power-up that allows him to eat all the ghosts on that.
I love it. That would be pretty powerful if the counter to ghosts on this map.
Yeah,
was
there's
a
like
probe.
Zealots chasing a probe, but then the probe gets a power-up, and now you can start munching down
Go
on the
back
Zealots. Yeah. The Zealots all turn blue and are running away.
Imagine it like some sort of weird situation, right, where like Zealots are trying to move through there or something. It's like a sophisticated game of whack-a-mole where you keep putting pylons where they're coming out.
Oh,
They
yeah.
have to turn around and go around another way.
Okay. If you're just now joining us, SOS has been doing very well today, managing to win against SortOf, although that was a very close series.
Yeah.
SortOf actually winning that first game. And now we have this game against Deer where we thought Deer was actually doing pretty well, but eventually SOS comes out on top. By the way, that pylon there to slow down any possible expanding.
And Deer throws down a Stargate instead of a Nexus, possibly because that pylon was there. But both players going Stargate Nexus. So now it becomes, a tale as old as time. Does somebody make an Oracle and somebody make a Phoenix? And if so, how does SOS then win the Phoenix War when he has less Phoenixes than his opponent? Because that's something
right.
that, it's like, oh, you have range? No problem. No problem.
That's the whole thing, is in a game of incomplete information, you can end up in those situations. I can't even believe they ever made RTSs ever where there was not Fog of War. Remember
Yeah,
all the
that's
old
true. They
RTSs,
did
like
make-
Command and Conquer? Like you just,
Yeah.
after you scouted them, you could just see what they were making.
It's pretty
And
stupid.
it took like 20 minutes to move across a map with your army. Remember they
Sounds
had like the spy unit in Red Alert?
The thing is, I watched those games some. My brother is a fan of those, but I didn't play them. Because
So,
I was like, well, StarCraft's way better than
I'm
this.
trying to imagine how you'd be able to use a spy in Red Alert because you make one of them. But of course, if they had scattered you, then the spy is supposed to look like one of your infantry, but he just walks all the way across the map. You see, like, if you're blue, you see a blue guy in their base, and takes him 20 minutes to walk into your base. It's like, okay, this unit's not so good.
Phoenix is on both sides, by the way.
That's right. We could end up with a Phoenix arms race here.
Yeah, there's a robo on the way for SOS. Sometimes, and this is the dumbest feeling in the entire world, right? In a Phoenix battle, like every 5th game that it's Phoenix versus Phoenix, one guy will just be like, well, neither of us can fly to each other's bases because then we'll be down to Phoenix, so you can't scout, so I'm just going to go DTs real quick.
Yeah.
Like every 5th game of Phoenix versus Phoenix is that. So you see people do things like this, get the Robo and the Observer, and this means that SOS will be safe, but guess what? 175 gas. Is that 175 gas put towards Phoenixes or towards an Observer? It's a funny gamble, right? It's this little triangle of gambling.
PvP historically has always had these odd situations where the DT is the Achilles heel of their build. So much about what's happening. Even though you pretty much, if you don't want to lose to DTs in the game, you pretty much always can make sure of that. But with all the various factors coming into play,
absolutely.
If somebody's accounting for you always trying to defend against DTs,
you're going to abuse that so hard?
Yeah, they can abuse that, but then you get the reversal where, you know, somebody's trying to cut corners and then you punish them with the DTs.
If you know your opponent won't go DTs, you can do such abusive
Yeah,
stuff.
you just skip detection. It's crazy.
You just never get a robo. You're just like, all right, that's fine.
That's what a big theme in Brood War throughout all PvP has been, like the DT gambit or lack of detection for that. Second Stargate, by the way, coming down now for Deer. I'm sorry, SOS still has one, right? Am I crazy?
He has two. He has two.
I'm sorry. Okay.
Yeah, and he's going super fast fleet beacon here, so he doesn't have to pull any of his crazy tricks with that. And his observer that he got first is getting a great scout off. Now, Deer did go robo, did get his observer. He was afraid of the same thing. But the scout first goes to SOS. But Deer is getting that third base, right? So everything's like pretty even, pretty close. Now, I love this from SOS. This is brilliant because, like, this back pocket expand, it's good. It's got the double gas. It's got less mineral patches, though. When you're Phoenix versus Phoenix, you don't need a hidden expansion. You make your expansion wherever the hell you want to.
Also, you could get that. You could save that expansion for later.
Yeah.
It's like that test they do on kids where they give them a cookie.
Yeah.
And tell them to wait 20 minutes and they get 2 cookies.
Yeah.
SOS did not eat the cookie.
Yeah.
8-year-old SOS knew he could macro out 2 cookies later on.
Yeah, that base, it's like, well, you're still going to get the gas, so maybe your Phoenix count doesn't get changed, but SOS is going to be able to gather a bit more minerals and have that safer base a little bit later when it might be scarier to take one. But, okay, so both sides are going... It looks like SOS is actually, like, at a slight Phoenix advantage, but it looks like their Phoenix range is about the same time.
Is he actually going to try to come in here? You got to keep in mind, if he comes in at the right angle, where the Phoenixes can't quite respond, excuse me, he can actually pick up every single probe at a base and kill it and leave.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And this also becomes a funny little thing. Oh my god, I love it. Right? Because when you're playing Phoenix versus Phoenix, you do funny things like just put pylons around the map as scouts because Phoenixes can't touch buildings. But then someone just becomes an ass and comes out with like a stalker or two, and you know standing right behind those stalkers are all his Phoenixes. So if you come in and pick up a stalker and all your Phoenixes are shooting their volleys at it, you're screwed, dude.
Yep, that's all it takes.
So you just let your pylons die. This is normal. This is normal Phoenix versus Phoenix
It's not
play.
pretty, but that's the way to do it.
This is exactly what Phoenix versus
They're
Phoenix
basically
looks
both
like.
trying to set up ambushes or avoid it.
Oh my god. It's so funny. This is like exactly what Phoenix versus Phoenix looks like, guys. It's the silliest thing in PvP, in my opinion, is Phoenix versus Phoenix. Because it's like, do you ever stop? Do you ever stop
Well, no,
the Phoenixes?
it's like we've gone too far.
Yeah. Because you can stack them all. It's like they can all fire at the same time. So like if you have 5 more, you're in such a dominating spot. The thing is, eventually, you can actually tech up a little bit. Like, eventually you'll go Mothership. That's actually like an important moment because Phoenixes kill observers pretty quickly.
Pretty fast, Tosis.
And if you have all your Phoenixes cloaked, you're going to win. All right, see, there's the Mothership coming out of Deer. We should be seeing it coming out of SOS at any
moment
time.
now.
Yeah.
They're continuing to mass up now. It's 3 Phoenixes at a time here for SOS. Another snipe goes off right there. The funny thing as well is when they're really, really bunched up like that, like when they're moving, it's hard to tell how many they ever have.
Yeah.
So it really, unlike so much of StarCraft 2 is you look at their army,
Yeah.
and then you say, oh, I can fight that, or I need to do this. There's actually not really a way to know most of the time in Phoenix vs. Phoenix. Once
Yeah.
it happens, you can't stop it. You can't put the genie back in the bottle. But
quite
you have to
true.
make every preparation necessary for when the fight happens, because it happens so fast.
It's like the main thing you can do is look where they've spent gas that you haven't.
Yeah, that's a good way to think
That's
about
like that, or where you have that they haven't. That's the best way to tell that. And obviously, you're gonna basically know when they're taking their bases because you're taking them at about the same time. But look, this is a ton of Phoenixes. The thing is, the mothership is about to be out. So when that's out, it's like, well, yeah, you have a 3 Phoenix lead, which would normally win. And look, he's bringing his Guardian Shield. His Guardian Shield robot is what I like to call that. Because it is not making a force field this game. Well, unless an Oracle flies under it, then it might be like, oh my god! Just throw a force field down. We saw previously. Look, he's got his little observer.
Here we go!
Oh, he gets the Guardian Shield robot! Loses 2 Phoenixes for it. Still worth. Still worth.
Okay.
Guardian Shield is so powerful. in
Back
this.
it up.
Okay, he's up 3 Phoenixes, and he has an observer still.
Okay, the push is happening. He's got 1 observer over here. He's just going to get spotted, though. Oh!
I'm really... Okay, Deer did very well there. Like, he picked off a few Phoenixes without losing too many, but I was surprised he was even pushing. Because just the fact that he has a mothership should tell him that he probably has, like, at least 1 less Phoenix than his opponent. You know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
Like, that's a lot of gas.
So much of this also comes down to where the first round of volleys go.
Yeah.
That's why when Artos was talking about sometimes you just let your pylons die if stalkers are hitting it.
Yeah.
Because if they do pick that stalker up and then your Phoenixes are finer than that, they will come in and kill you.
Yeah, they'll just beat you.
Things
That'll be it.
snowball so fast.
And it's like, that's why you see him continually moving these. Those move commands are to keep them stacked, because if they're all stacked really well like that, right there, they all fire at the same time. If they are not like that, then you're missing so much damage.
Uh-oh.
Oh! Huge amount of damage right there. Look at that, now 34 against 33.
Oh, SOS is pulling the trigger. I don't know what's going on. It's hard to see what's happening here.
What is going on is he just picked off the observer, and then so the Phoenixes had to kill the mothership.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Is this too much damage? Here we go. Deer
SOS
on the
has got
run
it.
right now. Now 108 supply to 140. And look at this, SOS carefully rotating over here to the center left.
Deer
And
is
he will be
starting
able to
ground
push.
upgrades.
Yep. Well,
I've
Deer
noticed
has to
that.
give up at this point in time with the air arms race. And this is where there's a perfectly good opportunity for Deer to try to come in. I'm sorry, SOS to try to come in and end this game. There's no way these Phoenixes can confront the Phoenixes of SOS. And in fact, this is the nexus where the mothership is being made.
Well, I mean, it takes a while to kill it. He's got like 3 Zaws to kill it with, but
Yeah.
the Phoenix War is truly what we're watching here. And Deer is doing his best. We're closer to his rally points, so that's kind of nice. Oh god, he had to make an Oracle to tag everything. That's not nice.
Once those Phoenixes are gone, then SOS can go in and pick up every single probe in this game and kill it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, this game is just about decided.
GG, SOS does it. 2-0, taking out Deer.
Yeah. Now, and he did a great job in these PvPs. I do have a little problem with what you said, though, Tasteless, because you said the air arms race. Literally nothing that flies has arms. So we should call it a wings race. An air arms race? What?
I like
Have you
that.
ever seen a bird with arms? Have you ever seen anything that flies with arms?
Gargoyles. Check. and
Gargoyles do not have arms, actually.
mate. Yes, they do.
I'm pretty sure they don't.
Yeah, they do.
Fairly certain they do
Yes,
not.
they do.
No.
Somebody Google gargoyles and send it to Artosis. I want a written apology.
Gargoyles aren't real.
What else? Yeah. Oh, you don't believe in gargoyles?
I hate to
You remember
ruin
that
this
cartoon Gargoyles when we were kids?
Yeah.
Stone by day, gargoyles by night.
I remember this. Oh my god.
네, 16강 진출자 작년 시즌 3 준우승
On to this
김유진
interview.
선수였습니다. 축하드립니다.
The runner-up from last
네,
season.
정말 축하드립니다.
He made it to the round of 16. Congratulations, SOS. He says thank you.
시즌 3 이후 오랜만에 보는 거예요. 그동안 잘 지내셨죠?
So after the last season, it's been a while. How have you been?
그냥 연습하면서 쉬었어요.
Not much has been going on. I've just been
개인적으로
playing a
많이
lot.
쉬기도 하셨어요?
네, 안 쉬고 싶어도 쉴 수밖에 없더라고요. 대회가 없으니까. 네.
So did you take a good break?
그런데 오늘 보여준 경기력이나 또 IEM 평창 같은
I
시즌을
did take a
보면
small break. I had
그때
to.
폼이 현재까지 아주
But
잘
other than
유지되고
that-
있는 것 같아요. 연습만 하신 것 같은데요.
Excuse me. We have the Pyeongchang tournament coming up.
연습은 많이 했는데
I've been watching a lot of qualifiers of yours.
컨디션이 별로 좋지 못해서
Seems like you're pulling out some great plays.
좀 운으로 이겼던 것 같아요.
컨디션이 좋지 않았는데 파수기
Honestly, I think my condition today wasn't that great.
그래도 파수기가
I think I almost won because I was
손이
lucky
안
today.
되니까 그래도 내가 할 것만 하자라는
You said that you were lucky, but your movement was great.
손이 아플려던데 파수기 역장이 참 인상 깊었습니다.
I feel like my hands
자,
weren't moving
일단
the way I wanted them to.
승자전은 요즘 기세가 아주 좋은 두 선수의 대결이었죠. 백동주 선수를 상대로 전진 우간으로 시작했던 그 의미는 무엇이었나요?
우선 심리전을 좀 걸어서
So let's talk about that game where you used the proxy Stargate.
동준이가 처음에
네,
Yeah, I was trying to play some mind games and throw him off,
봐가지고
네.
but
너무 피해를 많이
Dear
입었던 것
Stalkers
같아요.
basically scouted it.
참 이 승자전에서
He knew what I
1위
was up
진출
to.
기분이 좋으실 것 같습니다. 지난해에는
So I wasn't
여러모로
able to deliver the
굉장히
opening that I
아까웠던
wanted.
것 같아요. 시즌 3 아깝게 준우승, 또 정말 아깝게
I believe it was last year.
실패. 확실히 아쉬웠을 것 같은데
You're always having
올해의
these
목표는
incredibly
어떻게
close
잡았어요?
matches.
우선 GSL은
It's happened again here now. What are your goals for this year?
네,
임하려고요.
그래요.
Personally, I think
32강은
GSL round of 16
솔직히
is where this tournament really starts to heat up.
알았는데 경기력에 비해
Curious says, what about the round of 32?
편이었던 것 같아요.
그래요.
You said I thought it was going to
요즘
be pretty
많은
tough to
분들이
win tonight, but
프로토스가
I guess I just got
정말
lucky.
세다고
I managed to pull through.
이야기를 많이 해요. 양심 토스로서 김유진 선수의 생각은 어때요?
A lot of people said Protoss is really strong these days. What is your take on that?
저그전은 저그가 좋고
네.
I think against Terran, Protoss is pretty good. Against Zerg, however, it's even, I'm sorry, it's better.
저그전은 제 상대가 좋아요.
아 그래요. 참
When it comes to
아리송하면서도
PvP
현명한
matches.
대답인 것 같습니다. 자 김유진 선수 새해 출발이
I
아주
think my
좋은데요.
opponent's always better at
앞으로의
PvP. By the way,
가족
thank you for the
맺읍시다.
tweets. I've seen our Toast check his opponent. Gargoyles do have arms.
16강 꼭 뚫어서 다시
So does that make it to the round of
가보도록
16?
하겠습니다.
네 알겠습니다.
I'm gonna try to do my best.
16강 진출 축하드립니다.
Congratulations
네,
once
이렇게
more. He
오랜만에
says thank you.
보는 지난
Look at all
시즌
those.
김유진
Look at
선수의
your
좋은
Twitter
모습이었는데요.
account. Look how many of those
계속해서
gargoyles have
GSL
arms.
이벤트
Yeah.
안내해드리겠습니다.
Well,
How embarrassing. I thought you were a nerd, Artosis.
Oh man.
That's how they
So
perch on the
should we
sides of
call
those
it a
churches.
gargoyle race or a wings race? I'm not calling it a flying arms race.
Gargoyles race is fine.
Gargoyle race. Oh my God.
What is the audience need to know?
Hey, everyone in the audience, you guys down there, keep your tickets. At the end, we have a raffle for prizes, including beautiful pictures. You want a picture of SortOf in a leather bracket? You better keep your ticket.
That's right.
By golly.
We are now going to go to a break. When we come back, we will be eliminating the first player in Group B of tonight's GSL Code S. Stay tuned.